Hi UCR friends, thank you so much for tuning in to learn about and hear and play along to some music. So if you've been following along and watching some videos, you might have recently seen one about popular folk music, and that music pulled from more traditional folk traditions, which is pretty wide ranging, but today we're going to hear some songs that you might know. One is a familiar camp song, there's also a classic western song, we have a more traditional sounding waltz on the violin, and finally a well-known spiritual. So I'm excited to tell you a little bit more about these songs and to have you play and sing along. So thanks so much for being here. Okay, our first song is I Love the Mountains, and this is a pretty popular campfire song, and hopefully you'll recognize it when you hear it. And for this song, we're going to be learning some sign language. We're going to learn some of the words. It's all about the mountains and outdoor things, and so I'm going to teach you those signs now. So our first is mountain, and so we're going to make two fists, and we're going to think of stacking them on top of each other, okay? So look again. Here's our kind of building up our mountain or climbing up, because then there's a second part where we put our hands out to the side, trying to see what it looks like in the video, as if we've got a tall mountain here, okay? So it's like we're climbing the mountain. So here we go. Try again. This is part one. And then reach up, okay? Do both parts if you can, but if not, it's fine if you just want to hold your arms up like a mountain or just to tap your fists on top of each other. Either works, okay? Our next part says, I love the rolling hills. So rolling hills are those hills that go kind of up and down, right? And so we're going to use both hands to move up and down like rolling hills. Okay, so this is rolling hills. Very nice. Okay, our next word is fountain. So you're going to take one hand and put it out in front of you, kind of open like this, because the other hand comes up and out. Okay, so I think the easiest way is to make a fist, and then you kind of open it up and it spills out. So it's kind of like the water going in a mountain or in a fountain. So here we go. This is fountain. Okay. Next we have, thinking of the words here. Oh, daffodils. Okay, so there isn't a specific sign for daffodils from what I found, but we're going to use the sign for flower. Okay, so you're going to pinch your fingers together like you're holding something really small, and you're going to tap right above your mouth, kind of right near your cheeks. And I think of like how you've seen in the movies how the French kiss, where they go kiss, kiss on your two cheeks side to side. So that's how I think of flowers. Okay, next word is fireside. Okay, so you're going to have your hands up, but you're going to turn them toward yourself. So it's like they're open to you. And then you're going to wiggle your fingers and lift them up like the flames in a fire. Okay, so it's perfect for our campfire song for fireside. Okay, now instead of having our hands this way, for the last part, we're going to have them out, and then we're going to bring them down and close. And this is for the part where we say, when all the lights are low, okay? So those are our words, and then it ends with this part where we say boom de-yada, and we don't have a sign for that, but you can, sway your arms around, you can just take a break, whatever feels good, okay? So let me go over those one more time, and then in the song, you're going to have a video to watch of me helping you remember the signs, okay? So here we go. We're going to start with mountains, where we reach up. Good. And next is rolling hills. Now it's time for fountain. Good. And daffodils. This is a sign for flower. Good. Now the fireside. When all the lights are low. Good. All right. So in the song, you're going to get to see all of those, and I'll sing another verse for you after that, but then we're going to come back and do that verse again. So you'll get a second chance to try it out with the video. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and practice those signs with a little bit of music now, okay? So I'm going to get us started at a nice slow pace. And I'm going to review our words now. We have mountains, rolling hills, fountains, daffodils, fireside, lights are low. All right, let's try it with the music now. Here we go. I love the mountains, I love the rolling hills, I love the fountains, I love the daffodils, I love the fireside when all the lights are low. Boom de-yada, boom de-yada, boom de-yada, boom de-yada, boom. All right, this is a different verse. You can just listen or tap along. We haven't learned signs for this one. Here we go. I love the ocean. I love the open sea. I love the forest. I love the bumblebees. I love the stars above when night turns into day. Boom de-yada, boom de-yada, boom de-yada, boom de-yada, boom. Okay, so we're going to go back to the beginning so you get to sign the signs you learned one more time, okay? So remember, we're going to start with mountains, okay? 1, 2, let's try it again. I love the mountains, I love the rolling hills, I love the fountains, I love the daffodils, I love the fireside when all the lights are low. Boom de-yada, 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 boom. Our next song today is called Home on the Range, and it originally comes from a poem called My Western Home by Dr. Brewster Higley, and the melody was written by a friend of his, Daniel E. Kelly. And so I think you'll recognize it. There's actually a lot of verses to his poem. We're just going to be doing a few of them in our song today. So this song is sometimes considered the unofficial anthem of the American West, but it's actually officially the state song in Kansas. And so you might notice as you listen to it that you can picture cowboys and, you know, the Wild West and things like that. And the way we're going to be kind of moving along to this song is with our body percussion. So I'm going to scoot my chair back so you can see a little bit better. But the song is in what we call triple time, and that means 3, okay? So we're going to be counting to 3 as we listen. And you'll kind of think of like a waltz pattern. We have a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? And let's take it nice and slow. We're going to start by tapping our legs, or you can pat on a table if that's where you're sitting, and that's going to be always beat number 1, okay? So we have our 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to do this throughout the song, and I will have a video up to help you keep your place, and it's really not going to be too much faster than this. Let's go a little bit faster. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Home, home on the range. Just like that, okay? And as you get comfortable with it, we'll be repeating the refrain, and if you want to sing along, I'll put some words at the bottom of the screen as well. So this is going to be Home on the Range. Okay, so we're going to practice our 1, 2, 3 with the guitar this time. So you're going to hear a nice louder sound for that beat 1 where we pat our knees, and then the other 2 are a little softer. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Alright, here we go with the song. Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Good. Home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Oh, give me a land where the bright diamond sand throws its light from the glittering streams, where glideth along the graceful white swan, like the maid in her heavenly dreams. Feel free to sing along. Home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. How often at night, when the heavens were bright with the light of the twinkling stars, have I stood there amazed and asked as I gazed if their glory exceeds that of ours. Sing with me. Home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Okay, for our next song, as you can see, I have my violin here to play. And a common question I get asked is what the difference is between a violin and a fiddle. And they're actually not different instruments. It's a lot more to do with the style of playing and the types of music played on the instrument. So, whereas you might hear more traditional kind of classical music or other types of music on the violin, you can also hear like bluegrass and other folk types of music, and we might often call that fiddle music. So just wanted to debunk the myth that they're different instruments. I will say, though, that some traditional bluegrass musicians will have slightly different positioning with their instrument. They might hold it lower, they might not use what we call a shoulder rest to prop it up, but otherwise it's the same instrument. So I will share, though, what I thought was really interesting is that the term fiddle, according to the New Grove Dictionary of Music, is a generic term for any chordophone. A chordophone is a fancy word for a string instrument that is played with a bow. So this here, what I have in this hand, is my bow. And while I can pluck strings, kind of like I do on the guitar, I can also use the bow to make sound. So I never would have known that the fiddle refers more generically to that than just what we consider like American fiddle music. So that means this instrument group includes instruments from all over the world. For instance, there's the goj of sub-Saharan Africa. It just has one string. There's also the North Indian sarangi. That's another version of a fiddle or stringed instrument. There's also the rebab, which is from gamelan orchestras of Java and Bali. So it's pretty cool to think how the fiddle moves all around the world and not just what we think of as traditional fiddle music. So this song that we're gonna hear today is called Ashokan Farewell, and it is a waltz. It's a slower fiddle tune, and it's compared to the rest of our songs. It's actually a relatively recently written song, but it's stylistically similar to music from many, many years ago as well. And so it became really popular through a TV series on PBS called The Civil War by Ken Burns. And the person who wrote the song, Jay Unger, was inspired to write it after an Ashokan fiddle and dance camp, which is held in upstate New York in an area called the Catskill Mountains. So I'm excited for you to hear something different in our videos, and I'm going to be showing some images on the screen because it's a very beautiful woodsy area that this Ashokan camp is held in. And if you happen to have something like a scarf at home, that could be another nice way to move to the music and get your body engaged with it. But if you'd just like to sit and listen, that is fine too. So today we're going to be hearing Ashokan Farewell. Okay, our final song today is called Down by the Riverside, and it's a spiritual, and sometimes it's been called Ain't Gonna Study War No More, because you'll hear that lyric repeated throughout the song. It's also known as Gonna Lay Down My Burden. So this song goes way back. It dates before the Civil War era, and there's some really cool renditions of it. I wish I had a whole band with me because there's some pretty awesome instrumentation that has been done for this song. So we're going to be using instruments for this one, so if you don't already have some close by, you might want to either pause now or before the song if you want to grab anything. I would recommend something that you can kind of tap together or tap on. So I've got my tambourine, hoping it's not too loud. I'm trying to keep it quiet. So with my tambourine, I can kind of tap on it to make a beat like this. But if you had rhythm sticks, you could tap those together. Some people tap like shakers together, or if you don't have any of those things, you can clap your hands. And some ideas for homemade instruments are kitchen utensils that you can tap together. You can also fill a small container like a Tupperware with different materials like dry rice or dry beans, or if you want a more metallic sound, kind of like the tambourine, you could put coins inside. So there are lots of different ways that we can make music at home, even if we don't have instruments with us. So a really big part of playing along to this song is going to be trying to play the offbeat. So you'll remember back when we did Home on the Range, we kind of had our 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we call that the downbeat. It kind of grounds things and gets things started. And then there are beats in between that we call offbeats. So in this case, our song is not in a triple meter, it's faster, but often the emphasis is on the offbeat. So if, let's say I just sing it right now and I'll clap the offbeat for you. So if I did 1, 2, 3, 4, gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. So I can't really count and sing at the same time, but they're not on 1 and 3. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and this song has a little bit of a swing feel to it too. So I will have a video in the corner for you to follow along if you want to try to play the offbeat with me with your hands or with your instrument. And I hope you enjoy this song. I'm gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside and study war no more. I ain't gonna 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 study war no more. I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside and study war no more. I ain't gonna 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 study war no more. Alright, get those instruments and hands up high for this last verse. Here we go. I'm gonna join hands with everyone down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna join hands with everyone down by the riverside and study war no more. I ain't gonna 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 study war no more. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you had a good time and learned something new, and we'll look forward to having more music videos ready for you in the future. So everyone take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.